You mentioned in your testimony core inflation a couple of times. What's the difference between core inflation and inflation?
Many people believe, or it is in general, energy prices and food prices, which are much more fast-moving. And I would say that energy prices will roll down when this Iran conflict ends.
So is gasoline considered part of core inflation?
Yes, sir.
It is. So those remarks, core inflation reflects gasoline prices.
Core inflation, it reflects the underlying trend in inflation and whether that inflation has become endemic to the system as it did during President Biden's
Has the war in Iran had anything to do with core inflation?
Sir?
Does the war in Iran have anything to do with core inflation? Or you can't answer that, or either, or are we precluded from asking that?
Well, I'm not sure what the question is.
Let me make it as simple as I can. Does the war in Iran, are you with me? Does the war in Iran
thus far,
have witnessed the rise in gas prices as it caused?
Well, again, that is the regular inflation, and gas prices have gone up, which I believe will be temporary.
So gas prices have gone up, but you believe they're temporary.
Core inflation has dropped 0.5% since President Trump came to office.
Geez, you know, when I'm home in my district, I'm going to just tell those people, geez, you know what? You missed this whole thing. Don't you understand core inflation? You guys are better off. I mean, these gas prices, I don't know what you people are thinking out there. For God's sake, you know, you should be doing cartwheels in the street over the price of gas. So what is the administration's plan to lower gas prices?
We've taken the many.
Are you in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We have moved to.
Are you in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We would like to work.
Are you able to answer that, or is that not answered?
Well, if I'm not interrupted, I can, Congressman.
Well, I'm waiting for your answer.
We have asked Congress to move to eliminate the gas tax. That is done through statute.
You have moved that. So you're in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We have asked for that.
So we can join bipartisanly today because you're in favor to eliminate the gas tax?
Again, the White House has asked for it, sir.
They have? Why isn't it before the committee for a vote?
I don't run the agenda.
Well, it's good to hear that we're in favor of something that we can work on bipartisanly that will help relieve people who need it the most. Forgive me, but people in my district aren't doing cartwheels over this economy. They haven't seen the impact that you claim that they're all receiving. People hear a lot of rhetoric, et cetera, but that doesn't pay their grocery bills. That doesn't pay their heating costs. That doesn't put fuel in their tanks. That doesn't help them get through the day-to-day grind of their lives. And so coming here and filling us with platitude and telling us how grateful we should be to the Trump administration for everything that it's done,
well, Congressman,
is this war responsible for any of this?
Congressman, food at home is up 2.5% since President Trump took office.
Are we at war currently?
Which is twice.
Are we at
up
war
twice that
currently?
much every year under the Biden administration.
Are we at war currently?
The conflict has been halted.
The conflict has been halted. So we're not at war. So our military is not involved. We're not at war.
Again, if you would like for me to call the Secretary of War, I can ask. I'm the Secretary
So
of
as part of the administration and as part of this, we're not at war. How in God's name, if we can't answer any questions at all, and I don't know, maybe there were some special orders where we're not allowed to these questions or not, we ought to make that clear. Are we at war or not? I'm asking as relation to the cost of going up with for oil and gas. That hasn't risen. Has it risen because of the war?
It did rise because of the conflict, yes, sir.
The conflict. So that's what we call it. Our people go into battle.
You just watched a sitting
lose
Treasury
their lives.
Secretary
Mr.
refuse
Larson,
to
your
say
time
one
has
word,
expired.
war, while admitting in the same breath that the thing he won't name is exactly what's costing you money at the pump. That's not a slip. That's a cabinet official choosing language carefully enough to avoid a headline and getting caught anyway. This is exactly why Forward Brief exists. Not to shout at politicians for sport, to hold the line where the record and the rhetoric stop matching. Bessent has spent months calling this inflation spike temporary, a blip, transitory, the same soft language that's burned Treasury officials before. Larson didn't let him get away with saying it without being pinned to a plain yes or no. That's the job. That's the fight. If you think that kind of accountability matters, if you think a Treasury Secretary should have to answer a direct question with a direct answer, then don't just watch this and scroll past it. Subscribe. Right now, before the next clip hits, because we're about to show you exactly how Bessent tried to duck the gas tax question too, and how Larson boxed him into an answer he clearly didn't want to give. Hit like if this made your blood pressure rise a little, because it should. And share this with one person who's been told their gas prices are temporary, because they deserve to see the secretary in charge of that answer. Squirm on camera. This isn't a debate show. This is the record. Stay with us. Here's what Bessent's 5% drop answer conveniently leaves out. Core inflation strips out food and energy, which means it's the one number that, by design, cannot register a gas price spike no matter how bad it gets at the pump. Bessent has leaned on that exact gap between headline and core inflation all year, using the fact that core came in below expectations to argue the problem is narrow and energy-specific rather than embedded in the broader economy. That's a real distinction economists use, but it's also the perfect number to hide behind when a member of Congress is asking about the price. Families are actually paying for gas. Fox Business and the gas price picture Bessent is dodging isn't small. Prices rose sharply during the Israel-Iran conflict, with the AA national average hitting $4.39 a gallon before easing to $3.86 by late June, still well above the $3.19 average from a year earlier. Bessent's own public messaging on the cost has shifted repeatedly. At a cabinet meeting in late May, he told the room oil prices were transitory and pledged oil would end up lower than pre-conflict levels once the war concluded, a specific, on-the-record promise. Separately, he's put a dollar figure on the pain that other financial reporting has directly challenged as too low, telling one audience the added cost to a typical family was under $200, while other cost breakdowns of the same period ran more than double that. The Hill Fox Business. This is the pattern Larson is up against in this hearing. A Treasury Secretary who has the numbers to make almost any claim defensible on a technicality, while the number that actually shows up on a receipt at the pump keeps climbing. Core inflation is down, is true and irrelevant at the same time, and that's precisely the kind of answer built to survive a 5-minute question. Period, without ever addressing what the person asking it actually wants to know. Larson's follow-up in the next clip goes straight at that gap, and it's where Bessent runs out of technical room to hide. Line them up, and the pattern is unmistakable. Ask Bessent about core inflation, and he retreats to a number engineered not to reflect gas prices. Ask him if he backs suspending the gas tax, and he retreats to the White House, not his own name. Ask him if we're at war, and he retreats to special military until the very next sentence forces him to admit the thing he just denied caused the price hike everyone's paying for. That's not a communication style. That's a Treasury Secretary who has built an entire public message around one word: temporary. He called this inflation spike a blip in a Senate hearing the day before this exchange. He's told reporters oil will be lower than pre-conflict levels once the war ends, and predicted the market should expect one or two more hot inflation prints before real relief kicks in. He's publicly confident the economy finishes 2026 above 3% growth and at the Fed's 2% inflation target, war or no war. Every one of those is a specific, falsifiable claim, and every one of them depends on Americans not noticing what they're actually paying right now. The Street Plus 2. Larson's Gas Price Relief Act exists precisely because the wait for temporary to end has a real cost attached to it every single day it doesn't. And when the Secretary of the Treasury can't bring himself to say the word war about the exact conflict he credits with raising your gas bill, that's not a slip of the tongue. That's a man being more careful with a word than he is with the truth. The receipt doesn't say blip. The receipt doesn't say temporary. It says what it costs. And on that number, in this hearing, Scott Bessent had no answer at all.